So you're thinking about moving to the St. George, Utah area. Today we're talking about the pros, the cons, the good, the bad of working, living, and playing in the St. George area. And if you stick around to the end, I'm going to share a special announcement of a business that's coming here that many are excited about, including myself. So let's get started. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know more about living in the St. George area, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and you'll be the first to know when I share more information about living in the St. George area. Hi, I'm Shari Harris with Fathom Realty. We get calls every day from people like you who are ready to move to the St. George area, and I absolutely love it. So whether you're moving next week, next month, next year, don't hesitate to reach out. You can send me a text, send me an email, give me a call. All my contact information is below. So let's start by talking about the weather. It's one of the big draws to so many people that move here. Our summers are hot, the July and August. The rest of the year is pretty nice. I absolutely love winter, love that Halloween, the kids don't have to cover up their costumes. Thanksgiving, some years could be done outside on the back patio, so that's super nice. The weather is a pro most of the year for living in St. George. Another thing is the beauty of the area. We have these gorgeous red rocks that still take my breath away at times. When I turn down a street and you just see the big red mountains, it's gorgeous. It feels like you're living kind of in a resort town, which it is for a lot of people. So that's kind of the con, is the beauty, and the outdoor living here brings a lot of tourists. And though that can be real exciting with like these triathlons, we hosted this world triathlon that has only ever been done in Hawaii, and we got to host it. And we've done other triathlons, marathons, bike races, and it's so cool to see these athletes at their best out there competing. But it does mean that some of our roads get closed down, so when you're trying to run around town, get errands done, you can't get to where you want to go. And a lot of people come here to practice and prepare beforehand, and so you have to be really aware of the bikers everywhere you're driving. Also, the roads just get so filled with people. Some of these big weekends with all the tourists, the traffic, it can be a little crazy intense. Our stores are filled, our roads are filled, our restaurants have waits. It's kind of a mix of exciting and frustration depending on the weekend, and kind of if you're just spending a weekend having fun or trying to get your normal everyday stuff done. And touching back on the traffic, I know I complained about it with all the tourists, but I will say when I have clients who come into town from other areas, they often kind of laugh at my complaints because they're used to being stuck in a car driving to and from work for, a half an hour each way. And pretty well, even when we are filled to the brim with people visiting, we still can pretty well get everywhere we're trying to go in 20 to 30 minutes. So I guess it's all relative based on where you're coming from. So that leads us into the outdoor activities that so many people come here to enjoy, is that we get to enjoy them year round. There are so many amazing hiking trails and biking trails. We have multiple reservoirs, so boating, kayaking, paddleboard is so much fun to cool off, especially during the summer, to go to all these different places. And then we have off-roading and jeeping and golfing. We have a lot of amazing golf courses in the area. And so there's just so much to do outside. It really encourages an active lifestyle. Another perk of living in this area are the national and state parks. Many people travel from far off to see these, and they're in our backyard. We can go to Zion National Park for a day trip. We have Bryce Canyon. I go there for a weekend, or even the Grand Canyon is not that far away. And then we have our state parks, Snow Canyon State Park. I love hiking there, and have ran into people from all over the world that are just so amazed by the beauty of it. And we also have Gunlock and Sand Hollow, and so just lots of beautiful parks everywhere. So St. George is experiencing a lot of growth, and that's the good and bad. Because of the growth we're experiencing, we don't have all the businesses maybe to keep up with it at times, as well as the road structure. And so it's put a push on getting our roads better, our schools better, businesses expanding and trying to catch up with all of this growth. But the one thing I really love about this growth is our children were not able, quite a few of them, to stay here if they wanted. It was, there weren't the job opportunities and the higher cost of living. We're like around 9% higher than the national average. And so the expense here has made it a little bit harder, but we are growing, and we have like Tech Ridge that's being developed, and these will be some higher paying jobs. We have a great healthcare system here, and it has a lot of jobs there. And so we're seeing more and more job opportunities, which will allow more people to live here who really wanted to live here and be able to provide for their families. Some people complain about our nightlife, that we don't really have much of one, that we only have a few bars, not a lot of concerts, entertainment that they're looking for. For me, that hasn't been a big deal. I'm one of those people with 5 kids who wants to go to bed at 8:30 every night. So I don't really care about the nightlife, but I know that's a real thing for people. So sometimes they go to Vegas to get more of the nightlife. We do have cultural events, concerts, and like movies in the park, concerts in the park. We've got a few different, like the Opera House and the Electric Theater, and Tuacahn, which is actually in Ivans, but nearby, to go see performances. I'm sure there's more that I'm not thinking of, and museums. And so we do have some culture stuff going on and cool art displays. Downtown St. George will showcase different artists, and you'll see their statues in the parks and in like the roundabout side of the roads. And it's kind of cool to see the creativity that's expressed throughout the downtown area. All right, let's talk about food. Now, I'm not much of a foodie, but I have heard people say that they feel like we just don't have the options here they would like. These are usually people that are coming from bigger cities, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles. And so we have all like your fast food chains and your restaurant chains. We have a lot of that going on here, but not the high end dining, I guess you would call it. So I know some people will go to Las Vegas to get that, though I hear more and more people talking about wanting this. So I think we will find more restaurants opening up that are for the higher end dining experience. The crime rate in St. George is pretty low. Most of our crime is around theft, so lock your car doors. But compared to, I was looking at like the national averages on bestplaces.net, and so when we're looking at violent crime, St. George is rated at 11.2 and the US average is 22.7. And as far as St. George property crime, that's 29.9 and the US average is 35.4. And I know that's just numbers, so when I think about crime, I really feel safe here. I haven't experienced problems here, though I do hear about it from time to time, theft and things like that. So keeping your car doors locked, locking your home is an important thing to do. Overall, we have kind of this like really clean feel to our community, and I take it for granted. But often when I have clients who come here and we're driving around town, they're like, it's so clean here. We don't see graffiti or garbage all over the ground and litter. And so I think it's cool that our community, our city recreation people, our grounds cleanup people, they do a great job of keeping things cleaned up. And I think in general, the people here respect the area and do their best to take care of it. And so we have a clean, safe feel to our community. So let's talk about the airport. We do have a St. George airport, and I absolutely love it because it's small and you can like get through security super fast. You don't have to be there hours in advance, but it's so expensive. So 2 hours away is Las Vegas, and I find most of the time mathematically it makes more sense to take a shuttle and take the shuttle to Las Vegas, catch on a plane there and fly wherever I need to go, because they have really cheap flights in Las Vegas and way overpriced in St. George. But occasionally I do get the privilege of flying out of the St. George airport, and when I do, I love it. And I do have hopes that as the area grows, the airport will have more airlines that start flying in and out of there and help bring the prices down. That would be pretty amazing. So I do have hopes for that in the future. We are the headquarters actually for SkyWest, and they provide a lot of jobs for people in our community. Another thing that's so great about St. George is the retirement communities. We have a lot of people who come here to retire if they don't want to shovel snow anymore. They want to enjoy the weather here. And so we have a lot of areas that are 55 and plus, and they have amenities for our senior community, from pickleball to pools with exercise classes or fitness classes. Sun River is a really popular one. They even have some performances. They're in their clubhouse, and they have clubs I think they're called clubs, and just different things for an active lifestyle for our seniors. And so we do draw a lot of people here to retire, and that might be actually why, part of the reason why our housing is higher here, which if you own a home, like big pro, right? But if you don't own a home, that's a bit of a con as you're trying to get in to buy a home here, because a lot of people, as they come here retiring, they've built up equity over their lifetime and they're able to buy a home, pay cash. We also draw a lot of investors here. We have a lot of vacation rentals. And so a lot of our areas, money is spent buying vacation rentals. And so that keeps our prices of our homes up a little bit higher, due to just the demand for homes here and people wanting the lifestyle here, the beauty here. Another concern that people have about this area is the water. We are a desert, so we do have to work at conserving water. We have a great water conservancy district that has a great 20-year plan to help with the growth that we're experiencing here, but they're also asking people to change out their landscaping. If they have lots of grass, to do more of a desert landscape, trees that are good for this area, those kind of things. We don't want to turn into, I don't know, a cement paradise. I don't know if paradise and cement go together, but you know, cement everywhere. And so they're encouraging people to be wise about their landscaping, and the park strips that have grass that's wasting water on, to change those out, or areas where you don't really need the grass to run around and play, to change those out. And so they're making those efforts, reuse water lines going into the new subdivisions. They are building lots of reservoirs and different things. So they are on top of things to make sure that we don't run out of water here, but we do have to be wise about how we use it here. Another thing that I've heard people complain about is like our public transportation system. We don't have a really great one to get everywhere you need to in a timely manner. So most people do have cars here. With hope that as we grow and stuff, that will develop and become a better system for us here. Now, as I promised, I told you at the end I'd talk about this new business. So between Bluff Street and Main Street in St. George has been this area that has been dying. There used to be an Albertsons there and it moved away, and a John's Fabric, and then the Kmart, and it closed down and has just kind of sat there empty. And then there's been other little businesses in there, but they've all kind of suffered as this area has died down. And so I'm super excited about a developer that's knocking down a few of the buildings, fixing up the ones that are there, making it easier access in and out from those two really main streets there. And they just signed a lease with Hobby Lobby, and that's super exciting. That's something that a lot of people have been asking for a long time. I think it's a great start to bringing life back to that area between Bluff and Main Street. So I think there's a lot more pros to living to St. George. That's why I live here. I hope you do too. When you're ready to move, please give me a call or send me a text or an email. I would love to help your move go as smoothly as possible. Talk to you soon.